Gary Beck gets sent back to third base. Joey's on second. Now a single here wins the game. Didn't happen. Next kid struck out. I'm not going to mention his name because he's still pretty aggravated about that strikeout to this day. We're in our 40s now. He can't believe he struck out. I can't either. His name was R. Started with an R. So he struck out. Game's tied now because the runner at third scored. Top of the next inning, they get one run. Bottom of the next inning, we can't score. We lose 5-4. Yeah. That team, Camp Hill, went on to the next game and won the championship in a blowout, about 10-0. That was our year. That was this team. My 11-year-old Taylor literally. The ball just had to bounce out over the fence, you know? Crazy. Some guy over here, he goes, he's eating, he's mocking us. Why, you can't eat? You're not able to eat. Okay. I gave a really good tutorial for those that missed it. I gave a really good tutorial this morning on some really good scrambled eggs. Whoops. They're a little easier to cook than they are to eat off of a fork, apparently. I'll tell you what. You need to make them this way. I think you'll like them a lot. Anyway. What do you guys want to talk about? Anything? Camera's probably going to die again, so this isn't going to be like a super quick live. So tell me what you want to talk about. Maybe we'll talk about it. Oh, it's good orange juice, though. The eclipse? So, as you guys know, I don't believe in the global Earth, the heliocentric Earth model. I think I've made that very clear. So, what NASA says about this eclipse is not actually what's happening. It's very simple. The sun and the moon are levitating disks in our atmosphere within the firmament, which is the dome, the celestial dome that covers us, that covers our flat Earth. And the sun and the moon, the levitating disks, are polar opposites, kind of like the opposite ends of a battery. Positive being the sun, negative being the moon. Every now and then, because of the circular rotation that the sun and the moon do across our flat realm, over our flat realm, I should say, every now and then the sun and the moon eclipse each other. When that happens, you have an eclipse. It's much different than what the heliocentric liars say. How, oh, the moon is come on, all the electronic devices. No. It's literally just the moon, which is about the same size as the sun, getting in front of each other, causing an eclipse. There's nothing funny going on Monday, guys. I don't know what. I know there's a lot of stuff out there saying, oh, well, HAARP's involved, and they're gonna do this, and they're gonna. No, they're not. An eclipse, the moon getting in front of the sun, is a natural occurrence. It happens on a predictable nature because of the realm that we live on. So that's it. I mean, it's just, there's nothing going on Monday. It's going to be cool to see. There's going to be some inexplainable mathematics. Why is the shadow casted only that big when it should be 5-6 times that size? Just another confirmation of flat Earth, or at least that the sun is at 93 billion light years away, or whatever the hell they say. Don't really matter what they say, whether it's light years or miles or whatever, because it's just not true in any regard. So, who has control of CERN? We have control of CERN. So, scary stuff with CERN. And you guys have known about the scary stuff, I think, for quite a while. They were actually trying to open a portal to hell. Now, I don't necessarily know if I'm of the belief that you could open a portal to hell. You may be able to. I don't know of it, though. But they think you could. I mean, they is the bad guys. So that's why CERN was started. It had nothing to do with colliding, protons, shooting them at each other, or whatever the hell, electron, who cares? It never had anything to do with that. They thought by the energy that they predicted could be harvested through CERN, through the large collider thingy, they thought that they could open a portal. They could create enough energy and create a bridge between hell and earth, and the demons and satanic beings that are trapped in hell could actually come to earth and capture earth. Nope. Didn't work. For one reason or another, and this is beyond our control, but for one reason or another, God just didn't allow that to happen. How he stopped it from happening, I'm not sure exactly. But regardless, CERN isn't even in the black hat's hands anymore. It's in ours. Silver's at over 27 an ounce. Gold's way up too. Another all-time high for gold today. How's your 401ks and your IRAs doing now? All those SEC people. We lost a lot of money. Bill said to do it, we lost money. Yeah, in the first couple months? How about now? Doing okay now? Just wait. Someone asked a question. If CERN is under white hat control, why is there any concern of it being turned back on? Who told you that? Who told you that there's concern? I didn't tell you that. And I'm not saying only listen to me, but I'm asking who told you that, literally. Like, who was the source? Because we've been through this many times in many different scenarios where you're getting information that's being planted to you, and it's what they want you to think, but it's not actually what's happening. So somewhere along the line, you read in a source that someone's trying to turn CERN back on for nefarious purposes, and you believed it. At some point, guys, you have to start considering the source of things. Shadow of Ezra, I'm assuming the Telegram channel, is that where you heard of it? I've seen some things on that channel that are accurate. I've seen others that are not. That's not Ezra Cohen, right? It's not Ezra Cohen Watnick. Ezra doesn't have a Telegram channel. He's got a Twitter account. That's it. So I think for some reason, there's still a lot of fear porn going on around there. And not just on that channel, but many other channels as well. So don't buy into it. If there was something serious going on about CERN, don't you think I would have spoke about it? Of course I would have. By the way, when that guy comes back up here, I'm going to have to go talk to him for a minute. So bear with me if you don't mind. You guys see me eating breakfast. I did a live stream on Telegram prior to this with a whole really, really good cooking tutorial on how to make the best scrambled eggs in the world. So I made them in the live stream, and now I'm eating them. If you don't like that, you could tune out. Sorry. Wasn't a set live. Kind of just a pop-up thing. I had some spare time here. And I knew I wasn't going to be able to go live tonight because I have some personal commitments. So I figured I'd just get back on here and talk to you guys for a little while. Show you that I'm still cool and everything's still good. Are these bad storms being manipulated? Yeah. In fact, the weather in Pennsylvania has been the worst I've seen in many, many years. We have literal constant rainfall now for like 72 hours. I don't think it's ever stopped. Everything is flooded. The winds are terrible. 40-some degree temperatures. It's just the worst that there could be. I don't know how else to say it. It's really bad out there. It's been like this since Monday. Today looks like another complete washout. And I looked at the forecast for tomorrow. Really the same. So it's like 4 days in a row of this garbage. And it's just terrible. I mean, so when we talk about chemtrails, we think that they're this big nefarious thing that make everybody sick. And they may or may not be, or they may have been at one point. But what they are mostly now is weather control. So somebody said I'm in Luzerne County, and then I missed the rest. Shit, no, I lost it. Chat moves too quick for me. But yeah, we do have a Telegram channel. I have a couple of them, actually. The one that I just did my live stream on, it's t.me. That's the Telegram thing. T as in telegram.me. M-E like me. t.me/Phil, P-H-I-L, _ Godlewski. The Godlewski has 2 eyes at the end. The reason for that is I've changed the channel many times, and the previous version of the channel no longer could be taken. So t.me/Phil _ Godlewski, 2 eyes at the end. That's what I call my announcements channel. And then we also have a chat channel. Right now, though, the chat channel is closed for membership. So you just have to wait till I open that one back up. But if you're in the announcements channel, when I do open up the chat channel again, you'll get an alert or a post that'll say, hey, you can join now. That's usually open for like 24 hours or so. Is $27 silver the ceiling? No, that's not the ceiling. No. Do you guys see my cup and handle live? Silver is breaking out, man. I mean, it's breaking out. It's breaking out big time. I don't think anyone actually knows what the ceiling to silver is going to be. Depends on who you listen to. Depends on, really, it depends on who you listen to. But if you put all of their predictions together and you discern what you think are the best ones, I think you'll see that it's got a really high ceiling. Now, the better question, though, is I think when will it get there? And obviously, you still have time. Now you're seeing the price go up now. You're not only seeing gold go up, but you're seeing silver. Silver was just 22 something, like a couple of weeks ago, I think. And now we're touching 27. If you haven't yet gotten into 7K metals or into the gold quiz, by the way, I'm still not quite done with the gold quiz yet. I'm adding options in case you. So to tell you what it's all about, goldquiz.com was put together by me because I partnered with several different companies that could help you roll over your 401k or your IRA which are backed by the stock market, into precious metals. But over the last year and a half that we've been doing that now, I realize that a lot of you have money in the bank that's not in a 401k or an IRA that you still want to put into precious metals in large chunks. Well, they could do that for you. My partners at Gold Quiz could do that for you as well. They could put it in a EFT. They could put it in a 401k. So there's a whole bunch of different options. So Gold Quiz right now is being tweaked to include those, to give options to those that are in that particular situation. So I thought it would be done by now. I'm going to have to check to see if it is. I don't think it is because I haven't been told anything. But I will make a big announcement on that when it does. So goldquiz.com, for those of you that have a 401k or an IRA that you do want to get into metals, now's the time because they're still honoring these low prices, but you don't got much longer. Can we join 7K if we're in Europe? Yeah, sure you could. There's a list of countries on 7K's website. First, go to philsilver.com, Phils, P-H-I-L-S, silver, S-I-L-V-E-R.com, philsilver.com. There's two S's there in the middle between Phil and silver. Two S's, philsilver.com. Do you think there's going to be a 2024 election? You know, it's funny. When I had my film crew here last month, whenever it was, when I was doing the Truth Over Lies Q Film 1 of the crew asked me, what's one thing that you could tell me that you haven't told anybody else yet? And my answer was, I think there might be an election in November. And I said it begrudgingly, and the reason I didn't say it publicly was because I wasn't sure yet. But he asked, and it's the first thing that came to my mind, so that was the answer that I gave. I don't feel that way as of today. I don't think there will be a 2024 election. There's numerous reasons why I don't believe that there will be a 2024 election. I'm not going to enumerate them right now. In fact, that's a really good topic to do on my next live. Maybe I will. I could talk for 2 hours about why there's not going to be a 2024 election. And related to a whole bunch of different things, to election interference so far that the DOJ and the Biden administration has done. I could also relate it back to 2020 and what the Supreme Court has done to, change it. I could also put continuity of government and how there can't be another election if we are in a continuity of government devolution. So I literally talked to about 2 hours about this. So we'll do a live on that. But as of today, no, I don't think that there's going to be a 2024 election. And to drive that point even further home, I would just look at what General Flynn said recently. I know a lot of people tried to discredit Flynn for a very long time, and I've never seen any reason why he should have been discredited. All you guys show me is what somebody else said. And then that somebody else doesn't show any sort of reasoning. They're just like, yeah, he's bad. And that's it. That's all they say. So, sorry, I'm not into that. Never have been. I think Flynn's going to be the next vice president. That'd be a great live, Phil. Yeah, I think so. That'll be my next one. It'll be sometime this week. I don't know when yet, though. Where's Diddy? I told you, Diddy's talking. I already talked about this. Diddy's giving them all up. All of them. And not just in the rap industry either. Keep in mind, Diddy wasn't only in the rap industry. Diddy had a clothing line. Diddy had a vodka brand. Both very successful. Diddy produced records, for many different rappers and also non-rappers. So Diddy knows where the bodies are buried, and he's coming. So he's safe. He's all right. He's not going to take them all down, but he's going to get a good chunk. JFK Jr. for vice president? No. I know that's been a common opinion and like a lot of people would want that, but ask yourself something. Why would you want that? JFK Jr., for all the years since his fake death, has not been in politics. I don't see any indication whatsoever that JFK Jr. would just come out of the dead and suddenly be vice president. Maybe in the future? What would he be now? In his 60s, I think? So he's got plenty of time, obviously, before. I mean, Biden's like 195 years old, I think. So, and he's got plenty of time. So I think at first, maybe like an ambassador role, a world ambassador to try to bring people together. This is obviously a very difficult thing to get through the last 4 years, or honestly, the last 200 years. I think JFK would be a great fit for something like that. And when I say I think, I'm not necessarily guessing. Can you answer this? Are you a relative of JFK Jr.? No, I cannot. So no. Should we worry about RFK? No. No, I'd actually like to see RFK on a. I hope he does get to the general election and run, if there is an election, which I don't think there will be. But if there were, in a perfect scenario, if he were to get to the general election and run as an independent, I think he takes a lot of votes away from Biden. But again, if there's an election and it's rigged, who gives a shit? You can't win a rigged election no matter who you are, no matter how many votes you have. If you're up against an algorithm, you lose. That's all there is to it. You lose. If I programmed an algorithm, and anybody could do this. In fact, if you just Google it, you could do it. If I program a set of code, an algorithm that says for every vote Donald Trump gets in these 6 states, let's just say, I don't know, let's take 6 random states: Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona. Let's say those 6 states. For every 1 vote Trump gets, we want Joe Biden or whatever candidate. Insert candidate name here. It could be anybody. Could be me. For every 1 vote Trump gets, opponent will get 1.01 votes. And if you don't want to do it statewide, just do it in the major counties where the votes come from, so it doesn't look as obvious. There's no way that Trump could win those counties. Period. It doesn't matter who actually voted because the algorithm is putting in votes. So you can't win. You can't win a rigged election. That's all there is to it. So if it's rigged, you lose. Now, I understand Trump's going around campaigning for an upcoming election. I don't think we're getting there. I think he's part of the facade. I think it's all just part of the show, part of the play, part of the. Something big is coming. Something big has to happen between now and November, probably well before November, in order for it to make sense, in order for the plan to actually make sense. So something big is coming. There's going to be a big something. A big, big, big something. Could we counter an algorithm too? Sure. You could write, see, this is where it comes in. So if that algorithm that I just described is put into the Dominion machines, right? Or to whatever machines that there are. If that's uploaded into the machines, you could put in a second upload, or third or fourth or a fifth that corrects the other one. You could do that. But you know what you have to have? Control the machines. How'd you get the first algorithm in there to begin with? Did you just wish it in there? Oh, I really wish this could go in there. No, you had to have access to the machines and the owners or the operators of the machines. You see now why it's so important to be, the guys that are behind Dominion? Whoever controls them wins the election. That's why they're worth so much money. So sure, you could put in a second one. Who's going to do it for you? And don't say the white hats will do it, because if that's the case, they just won't let the first one in to begin with. We don't need an algorithm to win an election. We'll just vote. You know, like how it's supposed to be. When is the big something coming? I gotta be honest with you. I don't know how they're going to spin it just yet. So I don't know what the big something is, but I'm looking at the calendar and it's March. Remember all you guys that said, oh, we'll never make it to 2024. Well, it's March. I'm sorry, it's April. I don't even know what month it is, but it's April. You made it to April of 24. Here you are. You're probably not any better than you were before all this shit went down, but you're still here, right? So if you look at the calendar, it's April. November's just 7 months away. In fact, election day is what? Almost 7 months to the day. November 4th, is it? So I can't imagine that, you know, anything could happen in October for it to make sense. So that eliminates one of those 7 months. I think September's too late too. So I think, you know, at a minimum this summer, there's going to be something that really stops everything in its tracks. And I have a feeling on what some of those somethings could be, but I'm not the one that decides. David Quigley. Listen, here's the thing. David Quigley's story makes sense. First of all, let me digress. If you don't believe something that someone says nowadays, just because you think it's lunacy, you are not awake. Literally anything is possible. Anything. Look at what they've gotten away with. I've brought a lot of it to your attention, and there's more that we haven't even talked about yet. But if you don't think that David Quigley Jr. could be JFK Jr., then you're crazy. Of course he could be. Of course he could be. You're not crazy, you're ignorant. Of course he could be. Now, here's what I have to say to that. He has had the opportunity to prove it, and he hasn't. There's only one way to prove it, and that's a DNA test. So go get one. Get a test, and let's see. Wow, my door just blew right open. Be right back. It's like literal monsoon out there, so I didn't lock it. So that's, wow, the wind is nuts. But anyway, he's had an opportunity to do a DNA test, and he says, well, I can't afford it. I've seen people in his videos say, I'll pay for it. Hell, I'll pay for it. But it's not the point. The point is that not someone won't pay. It's just that he's not doing it. So I don't not believe what he says, but he has the opportunity to prove it, and he hasn't. So I believe his story. His story lines up. Is it possible what he's saying is true? Yes. Does he have the opportunity to prove it and hasn't? Yes, to both. So that's all I'll say on that. So why chemtrails, Phil? They really mess up the view outside, and it doesn't seem like it would be a white hat type thing. Last I was told on what's going on with chemtrails, number one, it's weather control for reasons that are beyond our comprehension right now. More of that'll come out in the future. Number two, it's for our benefit health-wise. Whereas former chemtrails were very nefarious things for our health, but not anymore. Good morning, Phil. You taught us to think mirror. Friday is 4-5. Mirrored is 4-5. Mirrored is 5-4. You posted on May 4th. Major bank failures today and tomorrow. Are we looking at a crash soon or other bank failures? Yeah. To both. Yep. The financial system in the United States, I mean, just look at what's happening worldwide with BRICS and look at things that like Putin is saying and others. It's a ticking time bomb, and the bomb is, it's right down to its fuse at this point. So, and I can tell you, once one major bank fails, they all go. And there's one of two that could fail that cause the rest to go. There will only be one major bank that survives. And that information I cannot give you. But I could tell you that the two major ones that you're thinking of, one of them is going down, down, down to Chinatown, and the other one will be alive. Purpose, because they were allowed to be. Just for the interim. And then things are going to change inside that bank too. Was Joe Lieberman a marker? No. Silver's up over 5% in 2 days. Yeah, it'll continue to climb. I put stuff in front of you for years now, and if you haven't taken advantage of it, there's not much more I could do for you at this point, You doing gematria on my scrambled egg tutorial? Smart followers. Who's in control of the stock market right now? It's a poorly poised question. The better question would be, who isn't in control of the stock market right now? That would be the better question. Can $10,000 be rolled over to a metal back 401k? No. The reason is the partners that I partnered with at the end of Gold Quiz, when you take that quiz, they think that if you only have $10,000, you may need to draw that $10,000 out for an emergency. So drawing it out of a metal back 401k or an IRA, although it could be done, there's fees and tax penalties associated with doing that. So they won't even take your $10,000. They think it's better that you have it however you currently hold it for your own benefit. So the minimum to roll over is $25,000. I did ask recently if we could get that lowered a bit, maybe to 15 or 20, and the answer was no. 25,000 or more. Now, if you have cash outside of a 401k or an IRA that you want to put into gold and silver, we could do that for you too, through Gold Quiz or through another means, Phil Silver. But the best thing to do is start with goldquiz.com and see what direction they give you. And then once you know that direction, then we'll be able to go from there. The new questions are not yet posted on Gold Quiz though, so just give me some time on that. A couple more questions, so we'll call it a day. Glad you enjoyed this breakfast. I bet you there was a lot of comms in there. Am I still planning the cruise ship trip? The cruise ship trip. I like that. Maybe we're going to call it that. The cruise ship trip. It's usually just call it a cruise. But if you want to say cruise ship trip, no one's going to stop you. Yeah, I'm buying out an entire cruise boat for us. I want everything to finalize first. I want Trump to be back. I want order to be set. I want everyone to have a really good time without worrying. So, if the military didn't want it to look like a coup in early 2021, wouldn't dragging this out to the summer or late summer of 24 feel the same way? No. A coup in 2021, which it would have looked like, Trump lost, Biden won, they're complaining, and now here they come and try to use the military to take over government. Where's our democracy? I could see all the, all the stuff. I think there would have been a civil war. I think the right versus the left, there would have been a lot of deaths of innocents. By doing what they did this long, first of all, I don't agree with how long it's taken. I've said that before many times, and I hate it. In fact, I don't agree with how long it's been taking. But by doing what they did, it doesn't look like a coup. It looks like evidence was uncovered. Lots of evidence from ongoing election interference all the way up to 2024. Like, you didn't know of Biden and Hunter Biden and their relationship with overseas foreign entities like China, the CCP, back in 2021. There were rumors, but we never proved it. Now we did. We've proven election fraud too. A lot of it has come out, and there's more to come. So yeah, those things took time, and more importantly, we could have taken the election back in 2021.